It's a lonely night. Everybody's happy. Been turning around, looking for a friendly light, but I see nothing. No eyes, no eyes on me. It's a lonely night. Everybody's happy. Been turning around, looking for a friendly light, but I see nothing. No eyes, no eyes on me. No eyes on me. Can you see me lying? Can you see why I pretend? Can you feel me thinking? Would you save me if I fail? I would love to love you. I would love to be your man. But your loneliness, please leave me. No eyes on me. better. I don't care about nothings or whatever. When I'm with you, everything in this world is much better. I don't care about nothings or whatever. Make me home again. Yeah. You are my dearest friend. Yeah, I'm with you. Everything in this world is much better. I don't care about nothings or whatever. When I'm with you, everything in this world is much better. I don't care about nothing or whatever. Make me home again. Yeah. You are my dearest friend. Yeah. You're the salt in my tears, you're the comfort in my fears. And when I'm crashing down, you are my landing gear. And I'm with you, everything in this world is much better. I don't care about nothings or whatever. You make me whole again. And you are my dearest friend. Yeah, when I'm with you, everything in this world is much better. I don't care about nothing or whatever. You make me whole again. You are my dearest friend. Yeah, I'm with you. Everything in this world is much better. I don't care about nothing or whatever. You make me whole again. You are my dearest friend. Yeah. When I'm with you, when I'm with you. When I'm
And I knew I was good. I knew I was good because I felt confidence. And I was working a place called the Gate of Horn, Chicago. It was a folk place. And I was one of the fastest rising new comedians in the United States of America. And I knew I was good. I looked across the street from the Gate of Horn and there was a place called Chicago where I wanted to be.
reaching the test that we put in time. It's on now? Yes, but I can hear myself. So the chip set might be black. This is what happened. Okay. Test. Hold on. Test. Yeah. So if I stand over here, yeah, that's better. Yeah, good. Good. All right, put on. Still working. So let's keep that on so that it doesn't automatically mute. And leave it there. Test. That's good.
Going on right now at Guitar Center, we're extending our friends and family discount to you with savings up to 20% off the gear you really want. From starter packs and custom shop guitars to practice pads, handcrafted drum kits, the latest recording gear and more. Discover the feeling of making music with your friends and family and saving up to 20% off on thousands of products from most major brands across the store. Go to GuitarCenter.com to get your friends and family coupon during Guitar Center's Friends and Family Weekend. Going on now, in-store and online.
Sometimes a bad boy cries, sometimes a good girl lies to get what she wants. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. We're waiting for a few more people to come inside. So I say let's give everybody about 15 more minutes, okay? We got those 3 flights of stairs to come up. We got to catch your breath. We'll get them a chance to get a coffee or an orange juice or a mimosa. But we are live. So if you all want to go to iSugar.live, check it out, make sure it's working for you. We also are live on YouTube. I'm going to have our moderator share all those details with our studio audience and also with our live audience. So if you can just hang tight for us for about another 15 minutes, we're going to start the show soon. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Happy Saturday.
Attention. Attention. Attention.
When you don't go to Geico.com, car insurance can seem intense. Like breakup R&B intense.
I thought you said you loved the sweater that I got you. If you didn't, you could have told me.
Geico makes it easy. Just go to Geico.com anytime to update or check your policy without all the extra drama.
I even had a gift receipt.
QL1, this is Control, checking in to see how excited you are for launch. Over?
Well, actually, I'm kind of bored.
You're about to travel 17,000 miles per hour through Earth's atmosphere and you're bored?
It just doesn't sound that exciting after using Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. I was able to get a completely online custom mortgage approval in minutes.
Wow, that is impressive.
3, 2, 1. Rocket Mortgage at QuickenLoans.com. Push button, get mortgage.
Rocket.
Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSConsumerAccess.org number 30.
Bose SoundLink Mini gets you closer to the music you love. It connects wirelessly to your smartphone, tablet, or other devices and fits in the palm of your hand for quality sound anytime you want, anywhere you go. Bose SoundLink Mini. Get
Faces look ugly when you're alone. Can't even see the light. Going another night.
studio audience, can you turn the music off for a moment, please? Thank you. Studio audience, it was just brought to my attention.
New chicken Caesar.
It was just brought to my attention that if you go to iSugar.live and sign in, first name, last name, email, that it's going to an invalid page. Can you all, if you have a device right now, we have a backup, so no worries. But I just want to make sure that it truly is happening for all of us and not just some of us. Because I had somebody tell me last night as well that some of their friends weren't able to get in, but then it was working, and it had been working for all of us. We have a backup. Everyone can go over to YouTube, and we're going to share that information with you and the live audience. But if you guys, if you've tried and it works, go like this. And if you tried and it's not working, go like that. Well, I know, and you were the one that told me that, so I appreciate it. Down. Yes. If you guys want to hop online, I was going to have the moderator share this with you, but I'll go ahead and share it. You want to, under settings, go to projective.co member. You're going to type in my email for the username. So Jodi, Jodi, at the number 3, the number 2, events.com. And the password is going to be easy for you. 1, 2, 3, hello. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, hello. When you connect, if you could go to iSugar.live, there'll be a sign-up form. Actually, I think I have a solution to all of this. I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier. Go to iSugar.live/home, forget about the main page, and then you'll be able to watch the show. Did you hear that? Just let your friends know, iSugar.live/home. They'll get right into that page. So let's start from the beginning. If you have complications going to iSugar.live on that main page, signing up, just type in iSugar.live/home, and it will lead you right to the video screen. Everyone's on? Hopefully our online viewers are not having any complications. Our moderator, Linda, is going to come up, and she's going to speak to both audiences on how to log in and the different places to go to watch the show. During the event, after each speaker exits the stage, our online viewers are going to have a video marketing clip to watch. Our studio audience is going to have an opportunity to speak to their neighbor and talk about the presentation that they just heard, have a second to just regroup. When those videos are coming to an end, we're going to have our moderator, Linda, get back up and introduce the next speaker. So the audience is going to stay entertained with marketing videos, and then we'll give everyone else a break. Some videos are 30 seconds, some are 5 minutes. They're all going to be different, okay? Well, I guess while I'm here with the microphone, I might as well just say hello and thank you so much for coming to the debut event of iSugar.live. I'd like to just take a moment and let everybody know how iSugar was developed. I've been an event coordinator in the domain space since 2009. I've spent the last 6 years putting on 2 3-day conferences for the domain community, GoDaddy, .coms, .orgs, .nets, and I enjoy that environment so much. However, when I had the opportunities to go into the conference rooms, I was starting to get a little bored with the same content of sales and branding. So when I decided that it was time for me to produce my own event, I thought to myself, wow, it'd be really great to provide content that was positive and inspiring, and that could help everyone around the world move forward. So back in March, I was working in Austin, Texas at the Film and Music Festival, the South by Southwest. And I had the opportunity to work with the Right Side Registrar and Registry. They represent .live, which is a new domain extension. So for 6 days, I heard their team talking about the .live extension between themselves and other people, and that's when it hit me. I should put on an event that is all about positive content, inspiring others, but rather than only having the one opportunity to fly to the location and pay the ticket price and the hotel and all that jazz, I knew with the .live extension that I could offer it to the entire world, no matter where they were. They could be here in America, Asia, they could be in their beds, in their cars. And I went home after South by Southwest, and like after any event, I have this amazing high. And I started to research and working on all the materials. And here we are 90 days later with iSugar.live. So thank you so much. So I personally, when I need some inspiration, I find myself going to TED.com. I'm always watching TED Talks. I probably watch 3 a week, or Oprah Super Soul Sunday. And so my hope is that iSugar is like those stories that I hear, that our speakers are able to inspire others so that everyone else can move forward in their own lives. So today is the first event, and my hope is that we can do them quarterly. So if everybody has a great time, and they feel like coming back, you can either log into the next one or you can join us in the studio audience. Today we're going to have 11 speakers. Everyone has 25 minutes or less to give us their iSugar, which is their knowledge. The lowercase I stands for internet, and sugar is that sweet knowledge that we have. And all of our presenters today, they have that to give to us. So I am going to welcome Linda Janis to the stage. I met Linda last year in South Florida when I produced a women's meetup. I think just someone within our network said, hey, you should email Jody, or there's this women's event going on. And Linda and I got connected through email. We spoke on the phone. We decided, yeah, let's get her on the agenda. And then when I met Linda, it was magical. And she actually ended up moderating my women's meetup. And she did such an awesome job that when I emailed her about iSugar, I didn't even ask if she would moderate. I just said, hey, are you going to be in New York City on July 30th? She's like, yeah, of course I'll be in New York City. I'd love to come to your show and support you. So then I asked, well, would you be interested in moderating? And she said, absolutely. So I am so excited for the whole world to get to meet Linda and not just a room full of 50 people. So I'm going to welcome Linda Janis to the stage. Linda, thank you so much.
It is such an honor and a privilege to be here, to be supporting Jody. I mean, this is one mighty mouse. She is strong, focused, and I think her intention, as you will see as the day unfolds, is to really bring out wisdom holders, so to awaken the capacity, the talent that resides in each one of you. And I know all over the world. So I'm going to welcome our speakers in Asia, in Russia, in Europe, in Latin America, here throughout North America. I am told we have viewers all over the world that will be participating in this event. So we're going to give you some sugar, and we're going to ask for some sugar back. So we're going to start with our first speaker, and we've got outstanding speakers throughout the day who will be sharing not only their personal journey and stories, but tools and tips to help you improve whatever journey that you are on. So welcome. My name, again, is Linda Janis, and I'll be speaking at the end of the day. So Mark Goeth has been in the domain industry for 11 years. He understands domain names like most people don't care to understand, which I think he'll explain to us what that really means. After having worked for the largest domain name company for 9 years, he took his talents to RightSide. Now, this is a really interesting private thing that he never really shares with most people. If he loses in ping pong, it's because the other guy cheated. He is that good. So please, let's give a warm welcome to Mark. Thanks. You're mic'd up?
Thank you, Linda. So that last little ping pong bit was actually a dig at my good friend Ryan Bell, who's going to be speaking a little bit later today. He beat me actually on this floor yesterday, and I'm still a little bit sore over it because he took $5 from me. So anyway, thank you again, Linda, for the great introduction. Like she said, my name is Mark Goeth. I am the business development manager for RightSide.co. Basically, RightSide is a domain name registry. We own 40 new domain name extensions. So we all are familiar with ComNet, OrgBiz, the traditional ones that have been around for 25 years. Our company has gone out and acquired 40 new domain extensions that are alternatives to .com. .live being the one that we're focused on today. We're here to talk about live streaming. We're live streaming this event at iSugar.live. I'm also broadcasting it at mark.live, which is my own domain name that I own and use for my Periscope account. So thanks again, Linda, for welcoming me and the kind words that you said. So about .live, let's just get into it, right? So .live has been around for about 8 months, give or take a month. I forget exactly when it went public, but around November. In that short period of time, it has become our fastest growing domain name extension. So we have 40, some of them have been around for 2 years. This one's been around for 8 months. It is now our fastest growing domain name. We've sold more premium domain units with .live than any other domain extension that we own. We actually just had our 2 largest .live domain sales last week, I believe, both totaling 6 figures each. So 2 domain names sold, in all for over $200,000. It hasn't been released to the public yet, but there's probably going to be some information shared soon as far as which domain names that those were. Also, another key statistic for .live is in the 8 months since we launched the domain name, it is in the top 50 as far as total domain sales. So .com's been around for 25 plus years. I forgot exactly when it was launched. There's over 100 million .coms registered. So in 8 months, we're in the top 50 as far as domain names registered for the .live domain extension. So very powerful domain name. It speaks directly to the live video audience. Never before has there been a domain name that's created specifically for the live content creator community. So great tool for personal branding. It's a great tool for call to action. It's a great tool to use for campaigns, a variety of different ways, right? So what does .live mean for us as a community of live creators? What can it do for you? What can it do for me? What can it do for a person? What can it do for a brand? So ultimately, the .live domain, I think we break it down into 4 different categories. The first one is personal branding. There are a ton of live streaming apps, live streaming platforms that are available to use, most of them being free of charge. However, when you're sharing a Periscope broadcast, when you're sharing a Facebook broadcast, you're constantly sharing that company's name. Facebook does not need help promoting their brand. Twitter, Periscope does not need help promoting their brand. You as a content creator, you as a small business, anyone that's getting started in live streaming and wants to share their message, they need a short, sort of memorable place to send people, right? And it works for personal branding. So myself, I use mark.live. I brand my Periscope channel with my own name. I went out and acquired mark.live. I paid $125 for it, mostly because I had a little bit of FOMO. You might hear Mr. Brian Fanzo talking about that a little bit later. For those of you that don't know what that means, fear of missing out. So I actually got to the point one day in the office where I was like, I need this domain name. I know my wife is going to be like, why is there a $125 charge on our credit card for yet another domain name? But I had to have it. So I use mark.live. to personally brand my Periscope channel. This is being done across the board, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, YouNow. For those of you that aren't familiar with YouNow, they're actually based here in the city. It's a personal broadcasting platform for teens, essentially. Their kind of target demographic is 13 to 18-year-olds. The .live domain has become very, very popular for that specific platform. These kids are loving having their own user handle .live, their name .live. A lot of them have these kind of creative usernames, especially like on Twitch, the gaming platform. So it gives people an easy way to share their name without having to build out a website. The second thing is a call to action, and I've obviously mentioned it briefly, but sharing periscope.tv/markagoeth, which is my full Periscope URL, is not a good user experience. It's not a great call to action. It's not very memorable. But if I say, hey, go to mark.live to find me doing live streaming wherever, it's a great call to action. It's memorable, it's short. The great thing about .live domains is they're available. So .com, once again, 100 million plus domains registered in that space. The ability to get a domain name like mark.com is going to cost me 6 figures. It's not going to be super affordable. There's a lot of money to be made in the domain industry, but I don't have 6 figures to buy mark.com, but I did have $125 to buy mark.live, and it means more for me in the live streaming community than .com does. It actually tells a story for when someone is going to mark.live. They know exactly what they're going to get when they get to that site. It's going to be a live event. It's going to be something that's live streaming, something that's happening in the here and now, right? So we think that .live is perfect for live content creators, and it gives them a great call to action when they're sharing that out on their Twitter accounts, Facebook, wherever, right? Or if they're sending out an email. It's so easy to remember. Person doesn't have to jot it down. Kind of the third thing that we talk about with .live domains is portability, and I think this is huge. When I mention portability, there are 50 plus live streaming platforms out there, and I kind of like to talk about Meerkat with this one. For those of you that know what Meerkat is, about a year and a half ago at South by Southwest, it was the big thing. Everyone was using Meerkat. People, brands were jumping on board. All kinds of people were creating an audience and a following on Meerkat. Does anyone know where Meerkat is today? They're not a live streaming platform. So if you've built an audience and a following on Meerkat and you didn't have a memorable domain name that was portable to take you to the next platform like Periscope, those people don't know where to find you. So it gives you that portability. It gives you the ability to go from platform to platform, especially as they're all competing for our eyeballs, right? They're all in the same space. There's not a lot of innovation that can happen in live streaming. I mean, yeah, you can add additional people that, to come on. It can be one to many, it can be two to many. Blab, I don't know, for those of you that are familiar with that, it gives you the ability to have multiple people talking at once, sort of like a talk show, if you will. So there's tons and tons of these platforms that exist, and they're all competing for our business, they're all competing for our eyeballs. So as they all sort of get cannibalized by each other, we start to see some of them get swallowed up or go away because they just can't make it. Having a .live domain name that you can have consistently shared and take that wherever you go is the perfect way to keep that audience and take that audience with you wherever you go. So the final thing that we talk about with domains, .live domains specifically, what they can be used for is campaigns. Recently we did a deal with the largest Vine star. His name is Thomas Sanders. I didn't know him before we did the deal, so if you don't know him, don't feel bad. He has 8 million followers on Vine. We used thomassanders.live as his campaign URL to give away some tickets that our company bought. We wanted to get the .live domain name out there. We wanted to share it with the world. He has 9 million followers on Vine, so we thought, what a better way to at least get the word out, raise some awareness. In 2 days, the course of a weekend, that domain name was seen over 2 million times via his Vine shares and Twitter shares, and he had 7,500 signups for the VIP tickets. So not trying to say that the .live domain did that for him, not trying to say that at all, but it gives you an easy way to have a memorable domain name to drive people to without cannibalizing or using up your .com, muddying that up if that's your main call to action. That kind of takes me into my final point is a lot of people ask me, well, I have a .com, I have a .org, I have a .co for my main website. Why do I need another domain name, yet another domain? My answer to that is if you're Coca-Cola, if you're, let's say, Applebee's, because Applebee's has kind of been doing some live streaming stuff. If you're Applebee's and you have applebees.com as your main site, it probably has some information about, your investor news as a public company. It probably has information about where to find all your stores, all that stuff, the stuff that pertains to a corporate entity. Applebee's is not probably going to want to put a live stream on their .com site and muddy that up. So use applebees.live as the main domain. It's consistent with their .com, so it's just a different domain extension. They can share it off of their main .com site, but the live content lives on applebees.live. So, amazing ways. Obviously, you can tell that I'm very passionate about this. It's the business that I've been in for 11 years. Actually, there's another very passionate person about domain names in the room as well, so we kind of share some of that. But appreciate you letting me come and talk to you today. If you're interested in .live, getting your own, I'd be happy to hook you guys each up with your own .live domain before you leave today. Share my contact information with you. We can follow up afterwards, and I can get you guys hooked up. So appreciate it. Thanks so much, and I'll turn it over to Linda.
That's one of those things that I always say is up to the creators, and that's one of the reasons that I use a .live to have some traffic, because you have all these unshakable things like Twitter or Facebook. Well, Twitter not so much. Twitter's kind of shaking right now, but that's a very shaky thing. But you have these landing pages where you can say, this is where I am, this is where I live. And right now, because all these things are volatile, Blab is kind of going away, and we already saw Meerkat, who was belle of the ball last year, gone away. And that was your girl right there. That was
I have more followers on that platform still that it's dead than I do on all my other channels combined. So, I think that's a good point.
So you have to have your safety net, like where is going to be the place where it's going to define me, and that's what I use like my .live for, because I own Ryan.live, I own Summit.live, I'm just thinking of what I can do with that video right now, because that video is pretty dope. I really like that studio, but I can create my own conversation there, and I can create my identity so that when my channel dies, I can guide traffic, because we're talking about this all the time. Like where's your community? You are a powerful person, you're a powerful influencer or whatever, if you can make that community go somewhere else.
Yeah, the ability to transfer that, the ability to move platform to platform. And so all you have to do is there's that upfront training your audience. Like, this is where you go. You go to Ryan.live. This is where you go. Don't go to periscope.tv/whatever. Go to
I don't
Ryan.live.
broadcast there anymore. You might want to go somewhere else.
And you can just point it, and if they're trained, then they find you automatically.
That's one of those.
And welcome back. This is pretty remarkable, and to be a part of this debut, I think, is absolutely miraculous. So today we're going to continue with some wisdom holders, learning ways to improve your journey, your business, looking at our lives personally and professionally. So if in fact you are considering streaming, anything technological, I think that this next speaker is going to also be another wisdom holder that will help you creating the life that you really want to live. So Bill Carmody is the CEO of TrayPoint, a digital marketing agency dedicated to delivering breakthrough marketing and innovation that is as powerful as the clients he serves. He is an international public speaker and contributing writer to Inc. and Entrepreneur magazine. Bill Carmody wrote the book on online promotions, built some of the first commercial websites back in 1994, and this is really cool. Tony Robbins follows him on Twitter, as we will too after this, so welcome. Thanks for being here, Bill.
Thank you for having me.
You're good.
I got it. How's everyone doing? Great. my name is Bill Carmody. I am also called the marketing whisperer, right? Because I've been whispering in the ears of the Fortune 500 for over 22 years. I'm really delighted to be here at this cupcake with you today. It was a sunny day in sunny California, Santa Rosa, California, where I was from. I was with my brother. I was 12 years old. He was 10. We were riding in our cul-de-sac. And in that cul-de-sac, we had this powerful feeling of freedom because it was summer. And you know how summer is when you're a kid. You got nothing going on, right? It's beautiful. My parents asked me to come into the house. I remember thinking, my brother, it's not dinner time. What's going on? So we park our bikes and we walk into the house. And as we step into the house, my dad says, why don't you guys sit down? Now I know something's up. Someone die? What happened? I look over and my mom is fighting back her tears. Now I know something serious is wrong. My dad just gets right to the point and he says, your mother and I are separating. I was in shock. What does this mean? I don't understand. He went on to explain that they love each other very much. They will still be together and I'll still get to see him, but he just won't be living in the house anymore. I'm trying to process this, and as soon as he starts talking about leaving, my brother jumps off the couch, grabs him by the legs, and says, don't leave, Daddy. Please don't leave. You can imagine my father, who was trying to be strong, started to cry. I'd never seen my father cry before. And watching my father and my brother crying and looking at each other, my mom couldn't take it. She started bawling. And my dad took it for as long as he could, and then he gently but forcibly removed my brother from his leg and walked out the door. I sat there, and I thought, everything has changed, but I don't know what this means. My first reaction was, well, I guess now I'm the man of the house. I'm 12 years old, right? What the hell does that mean? Looking back now, it seems silly, but at the time, I was serious. It's my turn to take care of my family. So what do? I went out and got 5 jobs. My next door neighbor, he wanted to create a lawn care business. Immediately, we started that business and started cutting lawns and started making some money that way. I got a paper route, had a bunch of odd jobs, but the one that really taught me the most was being a salesperson. I, at 12 years old, started going door to door, knocking on doors and seeing if people wanted to buy a newspaper subscription. Now, I don't know if you've ever done door-to-door sales. It sucks, right? Because when you go out there, they tell you right away that for every 10 houses you knock on the door on, 1 might buy. 9 will definitely say no. So you have to be ready to get rejection 9 times before you can get the 1 yes. So I said, well, how do I make this fun? How do I enjoy the experience of being rejected, right? How can I make this fun? So here's what I did. I walked up to the door, knock, 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 12 years old. Hi, I'm Bullshit Bill, and I'm here to sell you something you absolutely don't need. It was disarming. It was something that said, what? First of all, as a kid, he's like, what's going on? And then I went on to proceed to talk to him about, hey, listen, I know you don't need a newspaper. But the thing is, I'm going to give it to you for 90 days for free. And just by signing up for these free 90 days, you're going to be helping me out a lot. Because there was always some contest that I would reference because there was always some contest going on. And I want to win, right? And the thing was, I would disarm the people at the door. They thought it was funny. They realized there was no risk. I built rapport, and I became the fastest growing salesperson for the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat. My technique was such that I got to teach some of the other kids how to do this. But this is when I learned that I was an influencer. Everybody else got 1 sale out of 10 doors. My average was 3. So I could get 3 people to sign up for every 10 doors I knocked on. It was phenomenal. They just didn't believe. How did you do this? It was about influence. I could never force someone who didn't want to buy something to buy something. You can't do that. But in the brilliance of the Santa Rosa Press-Democrat, they created the 10 most common objections. And if you knew ahead of time what people were likely to say, you could plan for it. You could say, I understand you think that, but, or have you ever considered? And you sort of just give them some other ways of thinking. And that worked really well for me. And that's the day that I knew that I was an influencer. You all are influencers. Whether you know it or not, everyone sitting in this room and everybody watching on that screen is an influencer. And the way you know you're an influencer is because you influence people every day. It's just that there's a spectrum. Do you influence just your closest friends, or do you go broader? Later today, you're going to hear from a travel blogger, Leslie. She's amazing, right? And one of the things that she's going to be talking about is sort of how she decided after college that she just jumped in and she decided to sort of write about her travel adventures, right? She's an influencer, but she made a business out of it. So some people choose to do that. Think about it. I'm a marketing influencer. So if you want to know about digital marketing, I'll talk to you all day long. I love it. I've been doing it for 22 years. I built some very first commercial websites for AT&T, MasterCard, CVS, Zima.com in 1994, right? At that time, there was only 50,000 websites in existence, and they were all commercial. They were all government, and they were all educational. I got to build the very first ones for commercial, and I never stopped. But you know what? I'm only relevant to those people who are interested in marketing. If you're interested in fly fishing, I'm not your guy, right? This is how the industry of digital marketing has changed dramatically over the last 8 years. In 2008, I was working for a client called Trend Micro. And Trend Micro wanted to know, how do we launch our new brand toward consumer? Up until that point, they would only been focusing on B2B marketing, right? They were working for small and medium-sized businesses. They said, how could we go to the consumer side of business? So we built them a campaign around what we saw as the gap in the marketplace, which was everybody else was fear-mongering. They were saying, if you don't have antivirus, you're going to die, right? They were basically like, your computer's going to crash, everything's going to fall apart, you're going to hate yourself, right? That was basically what McAfee and Norton Antivirus were doing. So we said, well, what if we took the other approach? Fearless web. That was our concept. That basically, if you have antivirus software and it's working, you don't have to worry about it. You never have to think about it again. Right? So that was the concept. Let's just go out there and be fearless. We said, you know what? If we just do this ourselves, we're going to be talking to ourselves. We don't have an audience. We got to go build an audience. How do we go do that? So we reached out to a video blogger. His name was Kip K. And Kip K had 500,000 people that were watching his videos. Why? Because he's what they call an ethical hacker. An ethical hacker is somebody who basically takes stuff apart just for fun. So you remember that old Staples Easy button, a little button, it did nothing. You just pressed it, it didn't do anything. Well, he took it apart and turned it into a little spy cam. So when he was sitting on his desk and he pressed the easy button, he was actually recording you, right? Fun things like that. He took apart the HVAC system and decided to basically create what is now Nest. But back in the 90s, no one had anything like that. So he could basically do things like that. It was really cool. And we said, hey, would you be interested in sponsoring some content? If we gave you some money, would you talk about the Fearless Web? He said, absolutely. He'd been doing it for years. No one had ever approached him. So we were the first. Now, what happened was he built this video, and it became the #2 viral video in the United States. Second only to the Avion baby, right? I couldn't compete with babies dancing. That wouldn't work, right? But he was talking about security software and the #2 viral video in the US. And one of his followers jumped out and said, you sold out, man. You totally sold out. Like, oh my God, why would you do this? You're just corporate America, what up? And before he could even reply, several other followers came on and said, no, hold on. This is awesome. This guy is making it big time. He's going pro. Up until this point, he's been making all these videos for fun, but now he's got corporate America coming in and talking to him. This is awesome. And then he chimed in and said, I'll put a little PayPal button to the right of my videos. If every time you watch a video you pay me $1, I will never take another sponsorship dollar in my life. But if you want to keep watching it for free, I thank Trend Micro for coming in and doing this for me. See, that was the beginning for me of influencer marketing. We've always done influence. Influencer's been, since you were a kid, you've been an influencer. But now you can do influencing at scale. And so now you can take these connections and say, okay, well, I want to hire this influencer to basically help me promote my products. And if they're a good influencer, they're only going to do things they believe in. Because basically the whole thing here is authenticity, right? So you're all influencers. If you want to get paid to be an influencer, you can. You got to go deep. You got to figure out exactly what your niche is and just talk about it. Because no matter how random you think it is, somebody wants to hear what you have to think about, honestly. you can't believe the internet's huge, right? There's lots and lots of people who want to hear stuff. Internet marketing was now a matter of, okay, this is awesome. I got Kip K, but how do I do it at scale? If I want to do a campaign and compete with Google or Facebook, Facebook has 1.6 billion people on it. How can I, this 500,000 is nothing relative to the metrics. So TrayPoint, my agency, found a partner in Tap Influence. Tap Influence is a company that basically aggregates influencers and got 50,000 of them. So now when I want to actually go work for a client, I basically say, okay, who are the top 300 influencers and bring them up and then use them as a means to basically talk about products and services. So if you have a business, I'm not going to go deep into this today. If you have a business and you're interested in influencer marketing to basically help promote your products and services, we hold a monthly webinar at traypoint.com/influencer-marketing, TREPOINT.com/influencer-marketing. Just go there, it's a free webinar. It'll tell you everything you want to know about how to use influencer marketing at scale. If you're not a business, then my encouragement today is to figure out how you can be more of an influencer than you already are, right? Here's the thing. You heard at the beginning, I'm a huge Tony Robbins fan, right? I actually just got to interview the man 2 weeks ago, one-on-one. It was phenomenal. It's one of the best experiences in my life. He is the ultimate influencer. And the thing I'll tell you is, his advice, if he was sitting here right now today, was 2 things. Today, play full out. No matter what you are thinking about these speakers, someone comes up and you don't necessarily care about the topic, lean in, don't lean out. Don't get back onto your phone and think about, here, what can I learn from this? Is there something that I can use? Play full out means, if you're here, be here. Don't be on social media, chatting with your friends, don't talk to you, checking your email, don't try to catch up on things. You're here for a reason. You're going to learn stuff today. There's a phenomenal amount of speakers that are coming up right after us, right? There's going to be a lot of good wealth of information. Play full out. Figure out what it is that you want to do and what you want to accomplish, and take what you can learn from each one of these speakers. The second thing is, take massive action. Why? Because if you sit here and you just sort of absorb all this information and do nothing different, has anything helped you at all? I mean, it's intellectually curious, right? It's cool, but is it going to make your life better in any meaningful way? No. So if you want to take what you learned today, I want to encourage you to do 3 things. I don't care what they are. If you're interested in influencer marketing, you can go to my webinar next month. That's one thing you can do to learn more about influencer marketing. If you want to be an influencer, Google influencers, and you're going to find a whole bunch of books, right? From Getting to Like to Stop Chasing Influencers, How to Be an Influencer. Read up on it, right? Take some action. Or if you hear another speaker and they're talking about something you really like, do it. Put it on your calendar. Make it happen. Who's with me for that? Say yes. Yes. I'm not convinced. Who's with me on playing full out today? Yes. Not really. So I'm just here and sort of, yeah, okay. One more time. Who, with all your energy, with all your passion, show me what you got. Who's here to play full out with me today? Yes. That's what I like to hear. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time today.
If you think about the beginning of the internet, content started on government websites, .gov or .mil for the military. And then gradually, as companies realized in 93, 94, wow, there's this new thing called the internet, I've got to get my content online, they gravitated to the namespaces that were reserved or created for commerce, which was .com. GTLD is a global top-level domain name. It's the real estate to the right of the dot. Today, there are just a handful of GTLDs. Part of the problem in naming is that all the good names are gone. But in 2014, that's all going to change as thousands of new top-level domain names come to market. We're going to have .anything you can imagine. You can have .cars, .real estate, .food, .travel, .shopping, and any brand. You could have .Ford, .Chrysler, .Coke. I think it'll be confusing at first, but you drive down the freeway and you see drink.Johnny Walker. It'll just become more logical to you. The names and labels that people use to navigate on the web, that hasn't changed. What's changed is the location of the dot. Rather than usedcars.com, people will go to used.cars. There is a land rush of great descriptive generic domain names coming that anyone can register on a first-come, first-served basis. When future generations look back on the internet of today, they're going to think, how did we get by with this narrow selection of names? It's so much better now. If you think about the beginning of the internet, content started on government websites, .gov or .mil for the military. And then gradually, as companies realized in 93, 94, wow, there's this new thing called the internet, I've got to get my content online, they gravitated to the namespaces that were reserved or created for commerce, which was .com. GTLD is a global top-level domain name. It's the real estate to the right of the dot. Today, there are just a handful of GTLDs. Part of the problem in naming is that all the good names are gone. But in 2014, that's all going to change as thousands of new top-level domain names come to market. We're going to have .anything you can imagine. You can have .cars, .real estate, .food, .travel, .shopping, and any brand. You could have .Ford, .Chrysler, .Coke. I think it'll be confusing at first, but you drive down the freeway and you see drink.Johnny Walker. It'll just become more logical to you. The names and labels that people use to navigate on the web, that hasn't changed. What's changed is the location of the dot. Rather than usedcars.com, people will go to used.cars. There is a land rush of great descriptive generic domain names coming that anyone can register on a first-come, first-served basis. When future generations look back on the internet of today, they're going to think, how did we get by with this narrow selection of names? It's so much better now.
Flying high, super styling here in Aceto Village, right here, South by Southwest, right here in Austin. What more can you ask for? Wonderful people, wonderful food, wonderful company all around us. Thank you very much, Aceto.
Tattoos from the Aceto party at South by Southwest. They have a new dot tattoo. Amazing. Every shop should have this.
Dot Tattoo and Aceto for giving me a free lovely tattoo. I appreciate you guys so much.
Thanks Aceto and Dot Tattoo and Layla. It was great and thank you.
Sitting at my desk, bitching website domains, wondering if people even care about my remains. And then I go online, and what do I see? Some motherfucker just retweeted me.
Nothing like a retweet. So sweet. Nothing like a retweet. So sweet. Nothing like a retweet. So sweet.
Nothing like a what?
Like a retweet, yo!
Retweeted in the verse across the land. I'm getting socially promoted with the beer in my hand. I'm getting online loving, internet hugging. Retweeted and repeated cause I be thuggin'.
Nothing like a retweet. So sweet. Nothing like a retweet. So sweet. Nothing like a retweet. So sweet.
Nothing like a what?
Like a retweet, yo!
You think about the beginning of the internet, content started on government websites, .gov or .mil for the military. And then gradually, as companies realized in 93, 94, wow, there's this new thing called the internet, I've got to get my content online. They gravitated to the namespaces that were reserved or created for commerce, which was .com. GTLD is a global top-level domain name. It's the real estate to the right of the dot. Today, there are just a handful of GTLDs. Part of the problem in naming is that all the good names are gone. But in 2014, that's all going to change as thousands of new top-level domain names come to market. We're going to have .anything you can imagine. You can have .cars, .real estate, .food, .travel, .shopping, and any brand. You could have .Ford, .Chrysler, .Coke. I think it'll be confusing at first, but you drive down the freeway and you see drink.Johnny Walker. It'll just become more logical to you. The names and labels that people use to navigate on the web, that hasn't changed. What's changed is the location of the dot. Rather than usedcars.com, people will go to used.cars. There is a land rush of great descriptive generic domain names coming that anyone can register on a first-come, first-served basis. When future generations look back on the internet of today, they're going to think, how did we get by with this narrow selection of names? It's so much better now.
Why even try to justify leaving? Why not just run away? Why even wait and hesitate breathing? Why would you wanna stay? Nothing you say can change the way he feels. Nothing could save you now. So just let this go. Every collapse that came to pass faded out of your memory. All of the times he left you blind, jaded, down on your aching knees. Why won't you see the lies that he's telling? Why don't you give it up and just to let him go?
So why are we worrying about water in Africa? Well, there's many organisations that are drilling wells and finding water, but a lot of that water is contaminated and water that actually causes death rather than life.
Same thing I had last year with Ron Jackson. Sitting on the couch at home, watching Survivor, and all of a sudden I went, oh.
Head and let it fade away. Your heart on a string without a wing flying, no one to hold the kite. He let you go, but still you blow by, oblivious to the height. Check out behind you, you will find nothing's holding you to the ground. He just let you go.
I look you in the eye and say,
Shut down with no sound to the cold ground below. There's no one around, you won't be found. So hang your head and let it.
I've been shedding so much lately too. I'm so excited.
Don't let him pull you down. Just Just let him child alone. Be your land. Someday you will find a truer hand. I know you tried to see his side clearly. I know you gave it all. I know you died a little inside when nobody heard you call. Every mistake you come to make grows and echoes inside your brain. You need to let them go. Shut down with no sound to the cold ground below. There's no one around, you won't be found. So hang your head and let it fade away.
And welcome back. We are so excited to continue with our wisdom holders here at the debut of iSugar.live. This was the brainchild of Jody Chamberlain. She believed that bringing people together to share wisdom and information really are the seeds of our being able to move forward, to influence, to change lives, and to make this world essentially a better place. So we've had the honor and the privilege of listening to some great speakers, and we're going to continue on today. My name is Linda Janis, and I am so honored and delighted to be here. Today, Ryan Abel is going to be our next speaker. He is a digital storyteller, connector, and tech lover in live streaming and virtual reality. His speaking engagements range from CES to VidCon, and topics range from VR screenwriting and app content creation to philanthropy, I said this before, and community. As a founder of Summit.live, the world's largest conference centered around non-traditional media, his team bridges entertainment and technology with the mentality of bringing the world together to innovate, connect, and educate. And that's exactly what we're doing here right now. So continue with us throughout the day. We have speakers going on all day, wisdom holders who will touch you, participate, listen up, and be engaged. Welcome, Ryan.
Hello, guys. I hate microphones. Anyways, today I'm going to be talking about social VR, and we've just got greenlit on a project with Erase Child Trafficking and a company called Zeality. I will be directing a film that's going to be episodic VR content. So today we're going to be talking about why VR, and we're going to talk about social VR and like why that is so damn important. So let's go slide because that's boring. So this is Erase Child Trafficking. Last night I handed off a Samsung Gear 360, which you'll see me recording with, so it'll be able to see everybody as we record, to one of the board members of Help Erase, so that that camera could go to Cambodia, Trinidad. That camera will travel more than any of us will travel in the next few months. We've already started filming in Atlanta. We've already started filming in LA. We will be filming in Miami. We will be filming in London. But one of the reasons that we always start talking about virtual reality, and everybody's familiar with virtual reality, right? Okay, raise hands. Yay, okay, good. There have been times when I've gotten crickets. So why VR? So we start off talking about the empathy machine that virtual reality is. So the way that we are going to film this is the average height of a 4-year-old is 40 inches. So we will have this camera at 40 inches for when we are telling the story to make the audience feel like they are in a position of powerless. We are calling these positions of power. And then we are going to go the hero's journey, the hero's route in the storytelling, of putting them 72 inches tall, which is 2.3 inches higher than the average man. So you feel like this use of space, this use of height as we're telling this digital online story.
And that kind of amazes me because not only is that a layer of the storytelling aspect, but there's another layer, and that layer is size and scale. So we'll be using huge, huge spaces like the ports of LA, and then small spaces like hotel bathrooms to convey that message and to put that in. Because the way that I think of virtual reality is it's telling a story to the masses individually, which is an amazing thing that we've not been able to do. It is an immersion into a reality that we are not accustomed to. So this film will start out complete darkness, some facts, complete darkness, and then a trunk lifts. And you, as an audience member, are in that trunk. That's how it starts. We will go through all of this. And so we ask, why VR? Because it puts you in a position where you're not comfortable. It puts you in a position where we're not able to talk about it. With child trafficking, we have had a difficult time trying to figure out how to make people talk. People don't like to share that. People don't like to talk about that. But now we're going to be able to have something, especially with the product that we're using. We're using a platform called Zeality, which is a social media platform. Some of the patents are under NDA right now, but it will be coming out, and we will be announcing a lot of the new stuff that's coming in LA at an event called VRLA next week. Or is it this week? It's this week. And this is Zeality. Follow them on Twitter. Next slide. And this is us last night being very happy because we've got this. And I want to talk about this barrier of entry thing because we are all creators, all right? We start off. We all have this in our blood. You know, our ancestors come from cave-dwelling painters. We have music in our bloods. We have poems in our blood. And they're banging at the chains to get out. They're banging at the chains to say this. What is your platform? What is your medium to be able to tell that story? There are so many influencers that are really good at marketing, like Mr. Carmody. There are so many influencers that are wonderful at live streaming, like Mr. Brian Fanzo. What is your platform? I think that's why a lot of us are here, and that's why a lot of us get together, because we get together on a platform, and we put that weight on it. We put that badassery that only we can do, that our souls say, hey, you are a creator. All right, so now the barrier of entry has gotten so low that it's really interesting, because in my industry, in virtual reality, everybody says there's a lot of bottles and not a lot of wine. We are in an industry that's begging for creators because all the nerds, like me and my friends, we have created the software to build something upon. I was inspired this morning at 4 a.m. and completely changed my speech. Completely, 4 a.m. And go ahead, next slide, which shows how awesome I am at speaking, by the way. But I saw that Oculus Medium had put up something that said, sculpting in digital clay. Sculpting in digital clay. It goes back to the original times when we're sculpting in marble. It's the same thing. We are creating art in a new medium, guys, and we get a big canvas, a big round canvas, a big place to put that art and to do that. So my awakening for this, and I was like, okay, I am focusing so much of my time on virtual reality because after I spoke at CES, I spoke on the changing landscape of technology. And that's when the HTC Vive came out, and you're able to paint in a real world. So you're able to put on a headset, and you're painting. And then as you're painting, you're seeing that this is three-dimensional. And I painted a slit, and I thought, if I made a video game, I could go into that tent and then go into my arsenal for a shooter game. I could go through all these things that I created in this real physical space. And that just set my mind on fire. That set my creativity on fire. I was so gung-ho about how I was going to use this. And then people started saying, next slide. People started saying, next slide. They said it all the time. But I started thinking, and my mind went all these places. Where can I have an impact? And then I realized, what am I already effing good at? What am I already good at? So think about it. What are you good at? And then do it on that platform. Last year, I won the Presidential Volunteer Service Award from the White House for my work with Special Olympics. I'm very passionate about helping the world. You know, my life is a life for others. My life is a life for my wife, for my children, for education. And I see this, all right? Who remembers the Dewey Decimal System? All right? Dewey Decimal System sucks, all right? I remember the smell of the wood, of opening the drawer, of seeing the boogery files and fingerings. You know, it's just not good. Now my daughter, instead of Encyclopedia Britannica, my 2.5-year-old puts on a headset and knows how to go through a world and see something in a more meaningful way. And there are people that are creating experiences that are going to connect my daughter to learning. There are people like us that are creating experiences to give more empathy, to show more love in life. So my friends sometimes say, you know, that are out of the industry and think that I'm the world's biggest nerd, that it's going to cut us off. That's not what technology does. All right? That's what we said in the 90s when everybody had their computers. They're like, oh, no, nobody. You know what? You guys all have computers in your pocket. You're going out playing Pokemon Go. Your technology is bringing you somewhere. Your technology is making you meet people. That is not what technology does. It doesn't constrict. It becomes what you make it. It becomes what you use it for. And that's what amazes me about this future. There are things like alt space, where there is a social place where you can go in a virtual setting with an avatar and go meet with people. So imagine the future of gathering around the digital fireplace with your fellow summer camp counselors or your high school reunion where you're actually able to meet in a physical space and talk. You know, these things are being built, and if they're not, you can build them. That's what's amazing about this space now. Everything is getting more and more awesome. This camera right here costs $350. When I started in VR, any camera setup cost at least 10 grand. I mean, like, that's basic. The jaunt camera, which I was like, oh my God, I got to touch that thing. It was like $80,000. All right, look into the future. My 2-year-old, when she's 12 or 13, this is going to be Cracker Jack box stuff. This is 2 4K cameras back to back, sandwiched together. All right? We go, woo, this is great. It's 2 cameras with fisheye lenses. It's not that big of a deal, but it's amazing about what it does and what you can do with it and the platforms that people are making. Next slide. I'm getting all charged up. I think it's the caffeine. Woo! Yeah. So, I mean, like it's really exciting to think about this. So people are starting to make theme parks with these. So my cousin went to a theme park, and he was talking about a Superman ride where he's able to put on a ride and then go through this and talk about it with his friends. Next. But this, I want to give you guys some homework because I want everybody. This is a new thing. This is VR for the masses. Social VR is a real goal for getting this content out there. And there's not this content yet. We are in this junkyard phase where everybody's using duct tape to put everything together to make these things. But more products are coming out that are more amazing, that are more easy to use. There are some companies that I want you to follow. I'll do that at the end. Let's see. So in the end, how much time have I gone through? Damn, I've been going hard. This is awesome. Guys, you guys are giving me good smiles and energy. Y'all are awesome. But I really want to tell you, like, the thing that you need to be on top of is know what you really want to do with your story. Know how you want to tell it. Know what you did. Know, what did you want to be when you were a kid? Like, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a director. I wanted to be a director so bad. I watched films. And I tried to figure out how they did it, where they were hiding, what technologies they used. I mean, look at Total Recall. Look at Roger Rabbit. You know, they were putting stuff on top of other things. They were putting the cartoon on top of things. It was setting my mind on fire. What sets your mind on fire? Are you a poet? Are you a musician? What are you going to use to share your love of what you do? That's what all of this is about. That's what everything is about. That's what life is about. It's about sharing your passion, making the world a better place, seeing how you can amplify education, amplify good things, be a part of something. All right, sweet. So this is my homework slide. Guys, if you guys are interested in kind of cheating your way through VR and figuring these things out, follow VR Scout. It's kind of like these people used to run Vice, and now they're doing VR content, and it's for the masses. It's like USA Today of VR. It's really awesome. My company is VR Salon. We do all the social VR stuff. We do that with Help Erase. Definitely follow them in Zeality. We're going to be doing, because this is a live streaming conference, I'm really excited about the process that we're going to go through as we create this film. We're going to be doing a kind of meta thing where we are live streaming behind the scenes as we're doing this, so we can tell why we're doing it, how we're doing it, and what we're doing. So it's going to amplify, and it's going to be kind of its own marketing, its own television show, which is really meta, which if any of you guys were really nerdy, you would know that meta is a headset, and that's kind of a funny joke, but you're not that nerdy. Nobody's that nerdy. Ready Player One is a book that I have bought for about a dozen people. It is so, so good, and it tells you kind of what the future of VR could look like, where you're able to build worlds. Guys, this is coming in such an accelerated rate. Fortune, at the beginning of the year, said that VR and AR was going to be a $20 billion industry by 2020. Just recently, they said it was going to be a $120 billion industry. Fortune magazine, come on, guys, like it is blowing up so much. And what it's going to become the fabric of our lives that we don't even recognize, like it's friggin' electricity, all right? We are going to be using VR augmented headsets. We are going to have things overlaid in our glasses where we're able to pull up our email, where we're able to communicate, where we're able to tap it and go dark and be in a completely immersive experience. These things are coming so fast. Everybody says it's going to be 5 years, and then they correct themselves and they say it's going to be 4 years. So look at this stuff because it's friggin' cool. But get on this stuff. Google Cardboard costs between $7 and $16, and you slide your phone in it, and you can go and have these experiences. I cried my ass off when I watched Google Cardboard Spotlight Pearl. There's a show called, so look at that, it's free. And it is this wonderful story that just completely takes you away. And that's that experience. That's how you can tell that story. Everybody's making tools for you to tell your story. That's what Snapchat is. That's what Periscope is. That's what all these things are. The world loves content. The world wants content. Go out, make some damn good content, rock it. You know, I'm gonna share your shit. I'm going to. Like, I wanna see everybody win really big because it's a big boat, man. Let's make it all rise together. That's how I feel. So you guys feel free to follow me on Twitter. That's where I do most of my love. I'm a huge Twitter guy. I'm at Ryan_A_Bell. And if we have time, I'm happy to take a question or two or anything like that. We don't have time. Okay. So, and I'm out.
Did you know in the United States that 46 kids a day go missing into the dark world of child trafficking? That is about 2 classrooms worth of children each and every day. We at Erase are asking you to take action and show support for the 17,000 children that are stolen each year. Our goal is to eradicate and erase child trafficking, but we can't do it alone and we need your help. We are kicking off an awareness campaign to help erase child trafficking. Please join us by taking a picture or video of you or someone you love erasing the words child trafficking. Post it onto social media and use the hashtag #HelpErase. We'll be promoting your tweets and posts to amplify our collective voices. You can help even more by tagging family, friends, and coworkers to join in the challenge as well. Together we can make a difference and erase child trafficking. Did you know in the United States that 46 kids a day go missing into the dark world of child trafficking? That is about 2 classrooms worth of children each and every day. We at Erase are asking you to take action and show support for the 17,000 children that are stolen each year. Our goal is to eradicate and erase child trafficking, but we can't do it alone and we need your help. We are kicking off an awareness campaign to help erase child trafficking. Please join us by taking a picture picture or video of you or someone you love erasing the words child trafficking. Post it onto social media and use the hashtag #HelpErase. We'll be promoting your tweets and posts to amplify our collective voices. You can help even more by tagging family, friends, and coworkers to join in the challenge as well. Together we can make a difference and erase child trafficking. Did you know?
And welcome back. We are live streaming internationally. We know that we have viewers in London, in Paris, here in New York, in Toronto, globally. So if you have friends, connectors, connections, let them know that we are here, and we will be streaming information throughout the day with our wisdom holders. So hopefully this information is helping you reach out, be an influencer, and make a difference. My name is Linda Janis. I am delighted to be here at the debut of iSugar Live, the brainchild of Jody Chamberlain. And already through Twitter and information, we are getting outstanding response. So up next is Jessica Festa. She is a creator of the Solo Female Travel Blog. Now, does that sound like the best job in the world? She might share with you some insights into how you can do this as well. Jessie on the Journey, that's the name of her blog, and the online responsible tourism and culture magazine, Epicure and Culture. She is based here in Brooklyn, though you'll often find her in other destinations around the world. Jessie is also a licensed New York City sightseeing guide, photographer, and certified sommelier. Now, I think that would be like the best job in the world. So let's give a warm welcome to Jessica.
Hi. So people often ask me how I got a job that allows me to travel. And the truth is that I actually made my job. I made a job when I realized that I didn't want a 9-to-5 that meant 2 weeks of vacation a year. Now, I was lucky that I grew up in a family that loved to travel. We would often do domestic road trips. When I got into my teen years, we started doing cruises. And I'm not sure if my parents were just really cool or maybe a little crazy, but they used to let me bring 5 to 10 friends along, and they would kind of chaperone us around Mexico and the Bahamas. I think it was pretty stressful for them. But for me, it really cemented my love of getting out of my hometown and seeing new things. When I went to college, I wasn't sure what I wanted to study, but I knew that I wanted to study abroad. And I ended up going to the University of Sydney in Australia. And it was the highlight of my entire college experience. I immersed myself in the culture. I got an internship. I had a job there working at a pizza place. And I remember when it ended, calling my dad just in hysterics, saying that there was no way that I was going to get on that plane home. I did get on the plane home, but it was far from the last time that I would get on a plane and leave New York. Pretty much after that, I was hooked on travel. I had a waitressing job in New York, and I waitressed as much as I could, worked overtime to save every penny to go backpacking Europe during summers. During winter breaks, I would head to South America and bus around. When graduation started getting closer, I started getting anxiety. I had no desire to enter the real world. So I bought some time by getting my master's. Most people get a master's to get a better job after college. I got a master's so that I could prolong having to get a job. Eventually, the day did come when I had to put on the cap and gown. And I was really proud of myself for what I had done, but I still didn't have the drive that I saw. My friends were really excited about their career paths and had interviews lined up, and I had no desire to quit the waitressing job that I had. I had an awesome boss who would let me work as much as I want and then take off for as long as I wanted, and I thought that was a really awesome gig. My parents didn't think so. So after getting my master's, I kind of realized that meant my parents were expecting me to get this amazing job. My parents started nonchalantly leaving classified ads around the house, and I realized I should probably figure something out. So I went to Google to see if maybe there was a job that would make me seem more adult-like, maybe something a bit respectable that would also allow me to continue traveling. And I stumbled on travel blogging, which in 2011 was considered neither. But all jokes aside, travel blogging has become really important in the media world. In 2011, when I started doing this, people thought I was insane. They had no idea what that was. They thought it was kind of like an online diary. But nowadays, when I say I'm a blogger, people get it. Even if they're not quite sure how it works, they know people who are bloggers. So it's become a very important thing. What really helped me, it was really tough in 2011 to start, but what I did was I took online blogging classes, I took photography classes, and I really kind of honed my skill. But I was also so obsessed with travel and telling my story of being a solo female traveler that I had the knowledge, I had the passion, and if you have those things, your readers will see that and you'll become an expert in their eyes. For anyone interested in getting into blogging, there is a quote I've seen pop up on social media a bunch, and it's, just because I like my job doesn't mean it isn't work. It's a lot of work. You know, there's a lot of perks that come with travel blogging or just blogging in general about something you love. But you have to figure out how to monetize those perks in a way where you can still pay your rent. And if you are, you know, a travel blogger where you are your own brand, you have to sell yourself and you have to pitch yourself. It's definitely a hustling gig. So you have to realize what your value is and what you bring to the table. And one thing that has really helped me with this is listening to what people ask of me. So one thing, I had so many readers constantly emailing me. They know I'm from New York and that I've lived in my apartment in Brooklyn for over 4 years. So I had a lot of emails from people asking me, oh, I'm in town, can you show me around? And you know, I can't do that for free. I definitely don't have the time. So I realized I can monetize this. So I went and I got my guiding license. I started creating a few tours to sell on my blog. And a few years later, it's now a fully incorporated tour company. So I always try to look at what people are asking of me. And I always say, if you want something bad enough that you can see it crystal clear and you just can't picture your life without it, there's almost no way that you can't have it as long as you're willing to work for it. So that's my little tip for travel blogging. And I am offering, there's my quote. I am offering 50% off select blogging products and services on my blog. There's information on it in the iSugar pamphlet, or you can go to that link, or you can just see me after. So switching gears a bit, I wanted to also give some actual travel advice. And I decided to pick kind of 10 steps that I might take to book a trip and maximize the experience on a budget. And again, if there's anything you missed, you can always email me, and I have a ton of cards and things. So the first thing that I might do if I'm booking a trip is the flight. So I like to go to Skyscanner. And what's cool is they have an option for the destination to put in everywhere. So if you're kind of like, oh, I just want to go on a trip, I'm not sure where, put in New York or wherever you're starting from, put in everywhere, and you'll get a list of the cheapest place to fly right now or on your chosen dates, and then the most expensive to kind of give you an idea. From there, I always go to Google Flights. For me, this is like one of the top 3 travel tools, and there's a few reasons why. First of all, you type in, say you want to go to, we're going to Nice in a month. Say you want to go to New York City to Nice, and we have maybe suggested dates that we are thinking we want to go. You do the search, and it comes up with a calendar view of what it costs to fly on each day. It also will come up with an alert, say, oh, if you fly 2 days earlier, you're saved $200. It'll also give you a map view to see, okay, flying to Nice is this much, but flying to Marseille is this much. And it'll show you the nearby cities, so you can really get a picture of what the cheapest routes are and when. I also love it because when you click that Book Now button, it takes you directly to the airline's website. I only book direct, and again, the few reasons why. Everyone who travels should be signed up for free rewards programs through airlines and hotels. There's so many perks that go along with it. I just went to Savannah. I'm a Kimpton Karma Rewards member. Just for being a rewards member, I got a $10 credit for the mini bar. No, gimmicks. I also have been a big Delta flyer for a long time. I'm very loyal to the airline. Not that it's even my favorite airline, but I've been flying them for so long. I have so many points. I just want to keep racking up the points. Before they devalued their points, I had status. So I used to fly first class all the time for free, totally because I was part of the free program and just flew enough to get enough points. So it makes sense to join. There's no cost. If you fly a lot, like I fly Delta a lot, get the co-branded credit card. I get double miles when I use it and book with them. So it makes sense. And the other reason I like to book direct is, say something comes up and you have to change your flying dates, you're going to get hit with a booking fee, a change fee, unless you fly one of the very few airlines that don't do that. If you booked through a third party, they're likely going to charge you a fee too, so you're going to get double hit. So avoid that by booking direct. There is another tactic I use, and this is a bit controversial. This definitely wouldn't be for everyone, but I'm just going to tell you about it so you know about it. It's called hidden city ticketing. It's based on the idea that flights are priced based on market demand and not the distance of the flight. So you don't have to do all the research. There's a platform called Skiplag that does it for you, and you can see kind of an example on the bottom. So say you want to go from Kansas City to Dallas. It actually might be cheaper to fly Kansas City, Dallas, Atlanta, but you would just not fly that last leg. Now, there's a few things you have to keep in mind. You should book 2 one-way tickets, because if you do the round trip and you miss that portion, it's likely they'll just cancel your other portion. The other thing to think about, in the rare instance, if your flight gets canceled, they're only going to worry about getting you to Atlanta. So if there's no stopover in Dallas, you have to figure out how to get back. That's rare, and not always, but I have seen some incredible fares on here, like 1/4 the price of what other sites are showing. So it makes sense. No matter what booking site you end up using, shop around. I like to look at everything and just see what my options are. I'm always looking at fare alerts, and one of my absolute favorite websites and Twitter handles is Airfare Watchdog. Best airline tips, best airline alerts, best trends, all of that. And what they do for the newsletter, I've subscribed to TravelZoo and all those, and you get this random list of deals that may or may not apply to you. What you could do with them is tailor it so that you're only getting flight deals leaving from New York and or only getting flight deals going to a destination that you have your eye on. I also follow them on Twitter, as well as these like lastminute.com, The Flight Deal, and JetBlue Cheaps, and there's a bunch of other handles I follow. And I like Twitter for looking at deals because you can create a list and group them together and kind of keep an eye on all of these deals that they're sharing. You can use social media to get deals. So there is a site called Hotelied, and what it does is it allows you to use your social clout to get special personalized deals. So you hook up you connect your social profiles, you connect your rewards programs, and it'll give you a special discount on their inventory. They only really do 4- and 5-star hotels, so even with the discount, oftentimes it's out of my budget anyway, but I have seen some 4-star hotels in New York for like $100-something. So again, shop around, see what they give you. The other thing I do is I'll often just reach out to the hotel. I have a decent following on social. I have the blog, so I'll try to work something out, maybe for a free stay or a perk of some kind, and say that I'll give them a shout out. Maybe in the blog post, if I'm writing it anyway, I'll put them in the stay section, or I'll do an Instagram shout out. I never promise to say, oh, I'm staying at the best hotel in the world or anything over the top. I like to be really organic. So like this, I'll take a picture of me using the gym and just give them a shout out. Thank you for hosting my stay. So the people following me know that it is a hosted stay. I'm not, fooling anyone, and it's not going over the top. It's just saying, hey, this is what I did at the hotel. It was fun. Flash sales sites are always great to look at. Groupon, Living, Social, Jetsetter, there's a ton of these kinds of sites. And they have insane discounts, usually for just limited time. So if you see something good that you want, book it ASAP. And think beyond hotels. A few of these I'm sure you've heard of. I'm going to name a couple. Maybe you think some of them are sketchy, or you're like, oh, I've heard of that, but I wouldn't do it. I'm big into couch surfing. When I started doing it, my parents were like, what do you want to be like, killed in some stranger's house? But it's probably one of my favorite websites. I've stayed on amazing couches. I actually got to stay with one of the producers of American Horror Story, which is like my favorite show. I spent a birthday in Mendoza. It's not only staying on couches for free, they also have city forums and event forums. So even if you're like, I'm weirded out by staying on a stranger's couch, which sometimes you even get your own room. I've stayed in plenty of people's guest rooms. You can always go on and try to at least meet up with local people. So a few years ago, it was my birthday. I was in Mendoza. I was all by myself. So I went on the city forum, and I said, hey, I'm in Mendoza all alone on my birthday. I'd love to go out. I had like 10 people take me out for a steak dinner and go out like until 5 a.m. It was amazing, and it really like showed me how awesome just meeting strangers and the human connection can be when you're traveling. I'm a huge Airbnb person. I'm actually an Airbnb host in Brooklyn for the last 2 years, and I use it when I travel. You can live like a local. You usually pay a lot less than at a hotel. And these are just some pictures of an Airbnb I recently stayed at in Seattle. A huge one bedroom, lots of natural light, brand new kitchen, brand new appliances. I was able to buy groceries and cook for myself and save money that way. You can't really see because of the glare, but there was like a really cute patio with funky couches outside, a barbecue area, so it was awesome, and we paid like 1/3 of what a hotel would have been. Woofing is a really awesome way to experience kind of working abroad, and it's not for someone who wants to sightsee all day, every day, because you will be working. It's working on organic farms. They have a huge inventory all over the world. You'll get to eat delicious farm fresh food. You stay for free, and you're working in exchange for room and board. And it's not just, picking up after animals or digging out weeds. You can be working on a lavender farm in France or a vineyard in Argentina. So there's a lot of great experiences to be had working on an organic farm. House sitting, there's usually a membership fee. It's usually less than $100 for the year. You're basically staying in someone's house for free, or maybe they might want you to pay the utility bills. You work that out all before. Many of them are completely free, though. And they'll ask you to maybe watch their dog or do some light gardening. And 1 or 2 nights in the house, and you've already made back whatever the annual fee is. Home swapping is just what it sounds like. You swap homes with someone, but it's not always a direct swap. Sometimes it is a bit more Airbnb style. For example, home swapping could be you staying in someone's house when they're there or staying in their vacation home. There's often an annual fee too, but you make it back easily. That's you can't really see it. It's just a comparison of the annual fees for the sites, but you could find that online very easily. So there's a couple of platforms that will rebook your hotel, so you keep getting the lowest rate. So say you book your hotel. Tingo and TripRebel, you have to book through their inventory, but Dream Cheaper, you can book through anyone. And they'll literally keep rebooking your hotel. So say you book it for $200, and then 2 weeks later, they run a promotion for $150. These sites will rebook you, so you get the $150. After your stay, you get reimbursed that difference. So these are good to know. Hotel Confidential. You have to book through their QuickBook inventory, but they'll give you $25. Not a lot, but whatever, a little bit of extra cash. Really easy. You make short smartphone hotel reviews. So 4 clips of different areas in the hotel and just short talk about your experience. So easy way to make enough for maybe a lunch or two. And lastly, I stay organized with TripIt. Great app. They have a paid version, but I use the free. I remember the first time I backpacked Europe for an entire summer. I booked everything in advance. I was 21. I didn't know what I was doing really, and I wanted everything planned out, and I printed every single confirmation. I had 100 at least pages in a booklet. This, you just email TripIt your plans@tripit.com, or you can manually enter them into the app. And now you can have, a year-long trip just in one app, just right there laid out really clearly. And say you have a dinner reservation at 7, you'll get an alert before the reservation. So really quickly, I have this random mismatch of just some random things I always travel with, different products and gear, mainly for safety and health. There are a few brands that have this pickpocket-proof clothing. I use Clever Travel Companion, but I know Clothing Arts has similar, and I'm sure there's other companies. So these are I wear them as under my pants. There's little hidden pockets, so you can put your money and cards in here. No one will know that you have that stuff on you. It's under your clothes. They make leggings, underwear, tank tops and things like that. So I love it, and if you wear a bag, it lets you leave that at home. I'm a big fan of Aromaflage. This is a perfume and bug spray at once. It's all natural, made with essential oils and alcohol. And I like it because it kind of kills 2 birds with 1 stone. I only travel with a carry-on, so I'm always into downsizing. And this lets me not have to pack a bug spray and a perfume. I just have this little thing. In terms of safety, again, I always used a safety whistle. This has been worth $1 million to me traveling solo. But recently I got into this. This is a RoboCop personal alarm, and I wear it as a bracelet. I even wear it in Brooklyn when I'm walking around at night. I won't do it because everyone will hate me. But if I pulled this pin out right now, you would hear the same sound as a fire truck. So you basically like become an alarm yourself. This I use when I go to places where the tap water isn't drinkable. It uses UV light. You stick it in the water, and it kills all the bacteria that could be harmful. So if you're going somewhere, it's nice to have. You don't have to worry about ever having to run out at 3 a.m. because there's no water to have in your hotel room. I always bring a doorstop with me. It's scary to think about, but I know tons of people. I'm friends with a lot of travel bloggers who have had their hotel rooms broken into. If you read the news, there's been a lot of scary stories of guys pretending to be someone's husband, getting a key from reception. It does happen. So it's just a little bit of added protection, keep someone from getting in. And likely you would wake up if someone was trying to get in with this there. I always bring a bike lock with me. I do stay in hostels sometimes, so good for the locker. But also if I'm in an urban area, I'll lock my zippers of my backpack shut. This, I won't unpack it. These are headphones, even though it looks like a headband. It's a soft headband. It's great for planes. Or if you're like me, I like to listen to like soft sounds when I'm sleeping. And you won't have like hard plastic on your ear. So it's really comfortable. I always carry, this is a Lancome for the ladies who wear makeup. Again, I travel with a carry-on, so I'm very into reducing liquids. This is actually foundation, but it's in this little cushion. So it doesn't count as a liquid. So to me, this is awesome, and it's a great product too. Show you. I do have a selfie stick, I'll admit. I travel solo. But I also like to travel with this little Joby GorillaPod travel tripod. I can tie this to like a tree or a banister. And then I use this thing. It's called an intervalometer, which sounds like it's like a space gadget. But you literally just stick it in your camera, and I could say, okay, take 30 pictures 5 seconds apart, and I can just literally like walk around in front of my camera. So you don't have to be awkwardly like with the stick in front of everyone. And then my last couple things. I love coffee, and I can't really be without it when traveling and on the go. I know in other countries I don't always like the coffee, and I've seen another trend in hotels where you have to like get the coffee machine upon request, and then sometimes they forget or it takes 2 hours. These are little tiny coffee cubes pre-sweetened with organic unrefined cane sugar. 2 of them is equivalent to a cup of coffee. So they're called Jiva cubes. I think these are the best little thing to throw in my bag if I'm on the go and need coffee. Simple. I always bring a sleep mask. Great for planes. Really makes a difference in being able to sleep on a plane or not. And then lastly, I'm a big fan of this brand, Mad Hippie. All their stuff is small enough for a carry-on. And I don't travel with makeup really. Sometimes I'll bring that foundation, but it's vitamin C serum, so you just rub some on your face and you literally look like just bright and beautiful. So those are my tips, and hope you learned something. Okay.
My name is Dennis Mitchell, more affectionately known in the community as Denny Mo. I'm a barber. I spread joy, I spread love, I spread happiness. I toured the world with several artists, and I decided I wanted to take care of myself. And I opened up my barbershop, retired from the road, and here we are 10 years later. When it comes to internet and stuff like that, I'm very, very limited. So I talked to a gentleman who was in my barber chair. I said, wow, I think we need a website. He put something together for me. It worked, but he had me on a different web hosting, and every time I turned around, people was calling me, your website is not up, you know? I saw GoDaddy on the commercial. Then I talked to my web designer and told him I want to go with GoDaddy. And ever since then, man, no one calls me telling me your website is not up. It definitely excelled because a lot of barbershops around the neighborhood didn't have websites. So I'm on the top of the list, you know, because I have a website no one else does. My advice to other barbershops, get a website, build your business, build your brand. It's like investing in yourself. If you can't invest in yourself, who are you gonna invest in, right? Dennis Mitchell, more affectionately known in the community as Denny Mo.
iSugar.live, our incredible debut program. We're so excited. Jody Chamberlain this was her brainchild to bring innovation, connection, and inspiration to all of us. Practical information that really can help you live your best life. So we're going to be continuing from promotion and tech information to travel information. And that to me was really about making a living by loving the work that you do. And I think that for all of us is really a core philosophy here. So finding the work that you love, so making a living by doing the work that you love, which I think really is apropos for our next guest. Leslie Nance is the founder of GoToKitchens.com, an online space and community that is helping people have light bulb moments in their health. I think we could all use that. After being diagnosed with cancer, she took up the mantle of helping millions of people achieve optimum health via the kitchen. She is a kitchen coach and a real food enthusiast. So let's give a warm welcome to Leslie. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. So I want to start with a quote by Mark Twain, and I'm going to really try hard not to screw it up. This is the only thing I've actually have planned for this entire talk. So my dad actually sent me this quote about 2 weeks into my Go-To Kitchens blog adventure, and it's this: the 2 most important days in someone's life is the day that they're born and the day that they find out why. That's a tough one for me because I really felt like my entire life that there was something that I was missing, that there was something that I needed to grab a hold of, pardon me for my emotions, that I needed to grab a hold of, and I just kept pulling at things. Oh, I'm a marketing professional. Oh, I'm a great wife. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. But it was never in my soul. And my husband and I, who's here with me today, we actually had a perfect life. We were living a dream. We were more in love than ever. We were traveling the world. We had tons of friends. Our business had made it through a recession. A very tiny mom and pop business had made it through a recession. And one Sunday morning, I woke up and I found a lump in my breast. And I looked at him and I said, this is going to change everything. And I tell you, I will stop crying at some point, but I can't ever tell this story without tears in my eyes. And I said, this is going to change everything. Our whole lives are going to change if this is what we think it is. And he said, oh, he was great. He was like, it's totally not cancer. It's not cancer. It's not going to be cancer. And I was like, I don't know. So when you find a lump in your breast, you get upgraded to all kinds of doctors. You go to the hospital, you see a doctor, and they're like, oh, now you need to go see this doctor, and now you got to go see this doctor. And you get upgraded, and it feels so scary, and it's so intimidating. So about 4 days after finding out that it was cancer, my mind just reeled, and I couldn't decide what I wanted to do because of the type of cancer that they had diagnosed it as was a pretty nasty little thing. Now, I have to tell you, it was only the size of the end of my pinky finger. It was tiny. It was 1 centimeter. And this is not a cancer story. We're going to get beyond this. And by the way, these are my boobs, and it was right over here, just so you know. I just want you to know because everybody looks at your boobs. When you say you had breast cancer, everybody looks at your boobs. You're like, no, these are mine, I swear. So you get upgraded with all of these doctors, and I took 2 months to try to figure out what I wanted to do. They wanted me to do chemo. They wanted me to do radiation. They wanted me to do everything. They wanted me to do 5 years of one drug and 10 years of another drug. And I'm like, you guys know that it's this big, right? And they said, oh yeah, but it could do this and it could do that. So I had this blanket of fear that laid over me that was just undeniable. And I've always been an incredibly positive person. In fact, I always call my mom and dad my always light, never darkness mentors, because they actually taught me to live in the light and never seek the darkness. And so I have a mantra. Before I even go on stage, before I do anything, I say, please let me be light into dark spaces and never darkness into light spaces. And so I've always been incredibly positive, but it took me down. It took me down to the ground, and I thought that it was my last Christmas. I thought that was it. This is it. Grim Reaper knocking on the door, you know, and a year from now I'm going to be dead. Because they were telling me within a year to 2 years, if you don't do all this stuff we want you to do, you're going to have more cancer. And they wanted to remove my breasts. They wanted to do all kinds of stuff. So it took 2 months to try to figure out, what do I do? What do you do? What do you do when somebody says the C word to you? I mean, what happens? It's scary. It's so scary. And so sitting on the beach, we actually went on vacation. That's what Leslie does. She goes on vacation. You get diagnosed with cancer. I mean, obviously, the next thing you do is go on vacation. So we went on vacation. I was sitting on a beach on the north shore of Oahu watching these 30-foot waves crash in right in front of me. And I could just feel the power. And that power that those waves had gave me an intense power to fight this with everything I had. Now, you're fighting it with everything that you have might be, you know, saying, okay, I'll do the chemo, I'll have the breast removed, I'll do everything that you want me to do. My power was to just say no to drugs. So I said no to drugs. I went back to my doctor and I said, you know, this is what I'm going to do. And she said, really? Yes, this is what I'm going to do. She said, all right, you can do that, but you have to have a plan, Leslie. You have to have a plan. You have to start treating your body differently. And I thought, okay, well, what does that mean? So my medical doctor actually suggested that I hire a naturopath, because if you're not going to do the chemo, if you're not going to have the surgery, if you're not going to do all of that, then you need to do something else. So I hired a naturopath. He helped me understand real food principles. He helped me understand how to treat my body. I always thought I'd been healthy because I was thin. So thin to me equated health. If I'm thin, then I must be healthy. But what I didn't understand is that maintaining that weight had nothing to do with my health at all. It had nothing, because my body produced cancer. So after about a year into my journey, my whole food, real food journey, and that's what he suggested that I do, is to eat whole real foods. I was eating well, very well. In fact, driving my family crazy eating well, like total food, I don't even know what to call it. I was like we're doing this. If we're doing it, you're doing it with me. And my husband's like, really? So I was eating very, very, very well for a year. I went back to the doctor to have my breast checked again. And by the way, just so you know, for reference, I did have the lump removed and I did 6 weeks of radiation. So just in case you wanted to know that. So I went back to my doctor to have my scans, my medical doctor done, to have them looked at again. And so he looks at them and he's kind of like, he scared me actually. He's looking at last year's image where the cancer was. He's looking at this year's image and he says, this is remarkable. And I said, what's remarkable? He said, your breast tissue is healthier now than it was a year ago. What are you doing? And so I told him what I was doing. This lit a fire in me. As soon as he said that to me, a fire lit in my belly. And I thought, I can teach people to do this. I can teach people to live differently, to live in a healthy space without being a stress cadet about food, without having to go, oh, I can't eat that because that's not organic, or oh, that's not real food, I'm not eating that. I can teach people how to do this. And so I had proof. I had proof in scans. I had medical proof that I was doing better. And honestly, I looked younger. I was healthier. I had more energy than I'd ever had in my entire life. This was 3 years ago. At about year 2, I started brainstorming. What do you do with this information? How do you spread the word? I don't know anything about making a website. I don't know anything about social media. All I know is that, you know, some selfies on vacation, whatever. I don't know how to do this. So I started educating myself in a different way. How do I get my message out? And I came up with, I probably bought 100 domain names in like that course of a year. Oh, I think I'm going to do it this way. And I had all of these ideas, and my friends and my family were going nuts because I was trying to figure out how to give my cancer journey meaning. How do you give a cancer journey meaning? And so I finally landed upon at dinner one night with some friends. I have a Sunday night dinner that I host with friends quite frequently, and I cook for them, actually less frequently now because I'm so busy. Sorry, guys. But I actually host this dinner with them, and so one of my very dear friends says to me, "You should make a video so I can see how you make this stuff." Well, that's kind of genius. I can totally do that. So I made one video. And it started off, and I was wearing a GoPro on my head. No joke. This is no joke. Wearing a GoPro on my head, so all you could see was my hands. And so I made a video for her, looking down at my counter, making the food, and I was narrating it, and she was like, "You're kind of a natural at this." And I was watching the video, and not to toot my own horn, but I was thinking, I'm kind of a natural at this. So one thing led to another, and we decided that it would be awesome if I could go to people's kitchens and cook with them. If I could get into their space and teach them the things that I know in their space, so that you don't have to try to figure out what tools I'm using to do these things. And so that was the first evolution of my business, and GoToKitchens.com, which is my business. And so then along came live broadcasting. OMG. Live broadcasting changed everything. Everything. It was just remarkable. One day I turn on my phone and I have it sitting at my desk, and I have to tell you, for like 5 seconds I just kind of stared at it because I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, is that on? Is that working? I wish I had that first broadcast. I'm like, is that working right? And so I turn on my phone and I look at it and I'm like, oh, hi. And I see comments start coming up because I broadcast on Periscope. I see comments and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. I had an avocado in my hand, nothing planned. All I was going to do is talk about an avocado for the next 15 minutes. You know, what about an avocado? It was awesome. I was hooked. People were interacting. People were talking. People were laughing. They were commenting. They were hearting up the screen because on Periscope, you type the little screen and it sends up these hearts. And I was hooked. And so I did not falter from that point on. From that very point until now, for the last year, I've been broadcasting every single weekday at noon Mountain Time. That was a little plug, by the way, so you can find me on Periscope. Every single day at noon Mountain Time, I have been doing these live broadcasts. And some of you here today, I'm pointing at you, are here because that's how we met. That's how we became a community. And now my community has gone from several hundred people to several thousand people and growing leaps and bounds. But the one difference there that I think that some recognize in me over others is that I have a passion. I was born to do this. I found out what I was here to do. And that was to help people change their lives through their kitchen. It wasn't to help them change their lives because I'm going to needle you all the time about don't eat this and don't eat that. I actually don't talk about things that you don't eat at all. I only talk about things that you can eat. I teach people how to be in their kitchen space. And so from that journey, Go To Kitchens is only a year old. From that journey until now, last weekend I was in Dallas filming a marketing blog or marketing promo. That's about all I'm allowed to say. I can say this, for a major network who is courting me for a show, for my very own cooking show, because they recognize, I was discovered on Periscope, because they recognize something, and the thing that they recognize is the passion behind what I do, the passion for my subject, for helping people change their lives. I want people to have light bulb moments. In fact, I actually had a moment at Summit this year. I was in an elevator. Kim Garst, if you know who she is, gets on my elevator. And I never said this out loud before in my entire life. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Kim Garst, it's Kim Garst, it's Kim Garst, you know. And it's just she and I was like, hey, Kim, I'm Leslie. You know, because I get really intimidated easily like that. And I was like, hey, Kim, I'm Leslie. And she says, I was telling her I loved her keynote. And she's like, what do you do? And I said, oh, I'm a light bulb expert. She looked at me and she was like, what do you mean you're a light bulb expert? Do you mean you sell light bulbs? And I said, no, I'm a light bulb expert. I help people have light bulb moments in their health before a crisis strikes. And she was like, that's genius. Do you say that all the time? She didn't even care about what I did at that point. And so it was a moment in time for me that I actually started branding myself as the light bulb expert. And I have a hashtag. I mean, I use hashtag lightbulb all the time. So from starting from nothing, not having any idea how to even build a website, knowing nothing about social media, a year later, being a force on Periscope, being one of the #1 cooking shows on Periscope with a very consistent audience, a very loving, caring audience that comes out of their way to meet me here in New York City. So they're waving in the back. So coming that far in such a short amount of time has been a remarkable journey, but I only give it up to one thing, and that is the fire in the belly, is the passion that I have for helping people. It's not about the money for me. One day, the money will come. Money's not there yet. One day, the money will come. It's little bits like this. But that's not even it. It's helping people change lives. It's helping them help somebody else change lives. My business has spurred other businesses to come off of that. And people get healthy and they're like, oh, I want to share my message. So it's just building. It's just building. And so as one tells the next, we begin to change lives. And I tell my audience all the time, you guys are helping me help millions of people get healthy. So that's my story. That's Go-To Kitchens. At Go-To Kitchens on every piece of social media that you can ever find, ever. And if it's not there, tell me and I will be there. So, so please connect with me there. I do the show every weekday at noon Mountain Time. And while you guys are getting lunch, I'm actually going to do a food demo for our live audience over here. So you guys enjoy your lunch. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Ryan, for letting me be a part of this. And enjoy your lunch today. My favorite part of cooking is eating. Cheers. Cheers. Can you smell the basil? Oh, it smells so good. Hi, I'm Leslie Nance. I'm a food blogger, a wife, and a real food expert. Look at all that, yummy. I want to jump in this pan with these apples. That looks so beautiful. I can't wait to eat it. Look how beautiful that is when you get that green, that contrast. Turkey sausage, all the flavor without the guilt. Super simple, super fast, yummy. My husband Robin and I, we have always lived an active outdoor lifestyle. But when we moved to Colorado 15 years ago, we took that to the next level. So good. You taste the freshness of the herbs, you taste the saltiness of the meat. It's so good. I love this salad. Awesome. Don't fear the butter. People are so afraid of butter. Making a pizza sandwich.
Hey, don't taste like sauce.
Every good soup needs a good cornbread, and we are gonna make a grain-free cornbread. To keep us ready for any Rocky Mountain adventure, we eat wholesome, real foods. Oh, my favorite sound. You can taste the turkey, you can taste the ranch beans. This is hearty and healthy, and it's perfect being outside in the cold. I won't lie, I'm kind of a wizard in the kitchen. I am telling you, nobody is ever gonna know that that is grain-free cornbread. I make real food that is real easy and tastes really good. That's what makes real food so awesome, because you can't get those kind of colors out of a box. You want a tomato splat? Here, have a tomato. I can't wait to show you my real food kitchen secrets so you can start your own journey.
If you think about the beginning of the internet, content started on government websites, .gov or .mil for the military. And then gradually, as companies realized in 93, 94, wow, there's this new thing called the internet, I've got to get my content online, they gravitated to the namespaces that were reserved or created for commerce, which was .com. A GTLD is a global top-level domain name. It's the real estate to the right of the dot. Today, there are just a handful of GTLDs. Part of the problem in naming is that all the good names are gone. But in 2014, that's all going to change as thousands of new top-level domain names come to market. We're going to have .anything you can imagine. You can have .cars, .real estate, .food, .travel, shopping. And any brand, you could have .Ford, .Chrysler, .Coke. I think it'll be confusing at first, but you drive down the freeway and you see drink Johnny Walker. It'll just become more logical to you. The names and labels that people use to navigate on the web, that hasn't changed. What's changed is the location of the dot. Rather than usedcars.com, people will go to used.cars. There is a land rush of great descriptive generic domain names coming that anyone can register on a first come, first served basis. When future generations look back on the internet of today, they're going to think, how did we get by with this narrow selection of names? It's so much better now.
All right, we're gonna make a smoothie while you guys are enjoying lunch. Yeah. Who likes smoothies? Everybody, right? I love smoothies. Okay, so this thing I've never used before. So if it spurts out the top, it is somebody else's fault. It's not mine. I have my apron on though. So I think I left my mascot behind in the back there, but I have a mascot. Yeah, he's a little spatula if somebody can run that up to me. So the reason I love this smoothie is because it tastes like Black Forest cake, number one. And it's awesome. And number two, it has some amazing ingredients in it. So one of the first ingredients that is just so good for you is the walnuts. Now, anything that looks like the brain is good for the brain. Did you guys know that? If it looks like the brain, it's good for the brain. Yeah, so awesome. So walnuts are really good for your brain. They're full of protein, they're full of essential fats. They're amazing for you. The next thing that we're gonna use is black cherries, which are great for beating inflammation in the body. I'm a cancer survivor, so as a cancer survivor, that is something that I look for. I look for something to help break down inflammation in the body, and black cherries are great. If you suffer from any arthritis pain, any type of joint pain, even muscular pain, black cherries are awesome for that, and they're gonna add some sweetness. And then we have our blueberries, which are just like superfood. And you guys can't see this bowl. You didn't see it before it was full, but it's hilarious. It's like all teeth around the edges, and it looks like they're eating from this direction, that they're eating the blueberries, like, Urgh. Anyway, but blueberries are full of antioxidants, and because of their dark color, these and the blueberries, the dark colors, that is actually going to fight off all of those nasty little cancer cells that want to get you, right? Those are called free radicals. That's what happens in the body as our body starts degenerating our cellular structure and it creates cancer. Blueberries are going to actually help fight that. We have some yogurt in there just for a little zip, and then this is a chocolate milk, or this is actually almond milk, unsweetened almond milk, and we're going to use some banana for some sweet as well. So I'm going to make this for you. We're going to see how we go here. So I'm going to make a big batch because I know all of you want some. So we're going to put in a couple of bananas here. Bananas have potassium in them. They are really good for the body. A lot of people thank you. Oh, there he is. Hi, Splat. You're on TV. Hi, Splat. This is Splat, by the way. This is my kitchen mascot. Anytime you watch me live broadcasting, if Splat comes up in the frame first, that means we're in the kitchen cooking. So you just, automatically, as soon as you see him, that we're in the kitchen. So Splat is here, so we're cooking. So we're going to add 2 bananas. This is going to be a big serving. You would probably want to do half a banana for a regular serving or for one person serving. We're going to add some blueberries, and as much as you may want me to, I'm not sticking my hands in there. So we're going to add a cup of blueberries in there. Actually, let's do a little more. So about half a cup of blueberries for a single serve. We're going to add some cherries in there. Look at these guys are so organized. They have a towel and everything. How nice of them. So we're going to add probably about 10, 15 black cherries in there. And the cherries and the blueberries are frozen, so it's going to give it that slushy consistency. So you don't have to put any ice in this. So you don't have to worry about watering down your smoothie with ice because the fruit is frozen, which is perfect. Then we're going to add some yogurt. This is not a tablespoon, by the way, but we're going to add just about 2 tablespoons of yogurt. Now, yogurt has live probiotic in them, which means that it's going to help with your gut health and you're not heating it up so those probiotics stay alive. And that's really going to create a culture in the belly that is going to help you digest food better. It's going to make you, it's going to give your gut health. It's going to help your immune system. It's going to do all kinds of things. So I won't do that either. We're just going to put in about half a cup of walnuts. Nuts in a smoothie are one of my favorite things ever. And then we have a little cinnamon here, so I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Cinnamon is also great for the digestive system. Anything that has a spice to it, so cinnamon, cayenne. If I were making this for myself, this would actually have a little cayenne in it. Ginger, all very good for the gut, getting things moving out of the body, which is what we want to do. I won't talk about it too much here. But getting things out of the body makes it amazing. And then we're going to add this whole glass of chocolate milk, and I'm going to try not to spill it everywhere. Oh, I did it. Yay. Now, if you watch me regularly on Periscope, you know that I have kitchen fails all the time. I am not afraid to have a kitchen fail. In fact, I set off the smoke detector. That is a great one. That one, actually, Robin has now removed the smoke detector because I was setting it off so often. I have burnt pancakes to a crisp, literally, burnt pancakes to a crisp live. I have tasted something that I thought was going to be amazing and it was horrible and I almost gagged. I've done all kinds of things like that. That's the beauty of live broadcasting. So let's see here. Hi, on. All right, let's do this. By the way, if you're watching live right now and you have headphones in, I would take them out. This one's not so loud. This one's really fast. So mine's not this fast at home. We would have been standing here like 20 minutes waiting for that to blend like that. So way to go, Vitamix. This is ready. That's how fast, absolutely fast, that breakfast can be for you in the morning. I'm going to mess up somebody's pretty red towel right now. Good thing it's red. So that is how fast it can be for you in the morning. And if you guys want to come up and try the smoothie, please come help yourself. They are super delicious. I have to have a sip. Oh yeah, tastes just like some kind of cake that you're not supposed to be eating. You're welcome. Moira. Thank you. There you go. Oh my gosh, sorry, Splat. He just got splattered, right? That's awesome. Splat got splattered.
Thank you.
How are you?
Great, thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Bottoms up.
Thank you. Perfect.
It's so pretty.
Wait, stay right
Don't.
here. I want to get a picture of Ryan.
Hold on, you get double, like, because. All right, Jay wants one. I can already see it in her face. Jay, it's the first time. There you go, special delivery for my periscopers over here. All right, thank you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you, Jody, for everything. I have more. Anyone? You want one?
flying high, superstarring here in Aceto Village, right here, South by Southwest, right here in Austin. What more can you ask for? Wonderful people, wonderful food, wonderful company all around us. Thank you very much, Aceto.
Tattoos from the Cedo party at South by Southwest. They have a new dot tattoo. Amazing. Every shop should have it.
Dot Tattoo and Cedo for giving me a free lovely tattoo. I appreciate you guys so much.
Thanks Cedo and Dot Tattoo and Layla. It was great and thank you.
Sitting at my desk, bitching website domains, wondering if people even care about my remains. And then I go online, and what do I see? Some motherfucker just retweeted me.
Nothing like a retweet. Nothing like a retweet. Nothing like a retweet.
Nothing like a what?
Like a retweet, yo!
Retweeted in the verse across the land. I'm getting socially promoted with the beer in my hand. I'm getting online loving, internet hugging. Retweeted and repeated cause I be thuggin'.
Nothing like a retweet. Nothing like a retweet. Nothing like a retweet.
Nothing like a what?
Like a retweet, yo!
If you think about the beginning of the internet, content started on government websites, .gov or .mil for the military. And then gradually, as companies realized in 93, 94, wow, there's this new thing called the internet, I've got to get my content online. They gravitated to the namespaces that were reserved or created for commerce, which was .com. GTLD is a global top-level domain name. It's the real estate to the right of the dot. Today, there are just a handful of GTLDs. Part of the problem in naming is that all the good names are gone. But in 2014, that's all going to change as thousands of new top-level domain names come to market. We're going to have .anything you can imagine. You can have .cars, .real estate, .food, .travel, .shopping, and any brand. You could have .Ford, .Chrysler, .Coke. I think it'll be confusing at first, but you drive down the freeway and you see drink.Johnny Walker. It'll just become more logical to you. The names and labels that people use to navigate on the web, that hasn't changed. What's changed is the location of the dot. Rather than usedcars.com, people will go to used.cars. There is a land rush of great descriptive generic domain names coming that anyone can register on a first-come, first-served basis. When future generations look back on the internet of today, they're going to think, how did we get by with this narrow selection of names. It's so much better now.
Why even try to justify leaving? Why not just run away? Why even wait and hesitate breathing? Why would you wanna stay? Nothing you say can change the way he feels. Nothing could save you now. So just let this go. Every collapse that came to pass faded out of your memory. All of the times he left you blind, jaded, down on your aching knees. Why won't you see the lies that he's telling? Why don't you give it up and just to let him go?
So why are we worrying about water in Africa? Well, there's many organisations that are drilling wells and finding water, but a lot of that water is contaminated and water that actually causes death rather than life.
Same thing I had last year with Ron Jackson. Sitting on the couch at home, watching Survivor, and all of a sudden I went, oh.
Head and let it fade away. Your heart on a string without a wing flying, no one to hold the kite. He let you go, but still you blow by, oblivious to the height. Check out behind you, you will find nothing's holding you to the ground. He just let you go.
I look you in the eye and say,
Shot down with no sound to the cold ground below. There's no one around, you won't be found. So hang your head and let it go.
I've been shedding so much lately too. I'm so excited.
Don't let him pull you down. Just let him drown alone. Be your land. Someday you will find a truer hand. I know you tried to see his side clearly. I know you did it wrong. I know you died a little inside when nobody heard you call. Every mistake you come to make grows and echoes inside your brain. You need to let them go. Shot down with no sound to the cold ground below. There's no one around, you won't be found. So hang your head and let it fade away.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Yeah, so far so good, eh? I was in Canada 2 weeks ago, so excuse my A's. Hey, listen, so far we've had such an amazing morning, a great start to iSugar.live. There's a portion of our studio audience that's going to take a break and have some lunch. So we're going to take advantage of that downtime. We're going to shut all of our equipment off. All of our live stream is going to pause for just about 5 minutes only. When we come back on in 5 minutes, we're going to turn the camera around to all of our guests who are networking right now. Because the key to conferences is the connectivity and that face-to-face value time that we don't get living in this digital world, virtual reality space. So we're going to turn the camera around. I want for everybody at home to see everyone else here networking, because it's kind of where I started at, was the face-to-face and not so much the live audience. And then, what do you think, Chris? How much time from there will we need till we bring the next speaker up? Maybe about 10 minutes after that. Everybody at home, the live audience, we'll give you about 10 to 15 minutes to just enjoy watching all of our guests eating lunch and networking with each other. And then we're going to jump back up and start with our first speaker of the second part of our day. So how many speakers we have left? 5 or 6? About 5 more speakers to go. So thank you guys at home for tuning in and watching. And we're only going to turn the camera off for 5 minutes. We're going to reload the video links so that when we start the second part of the day, we don't have any problems and that you don't have any interruptions. So we're going to say goodbye for just 5 minutes, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks again for joining us.